wake up. Today's a great day come, so wake up. Welcome the sun, wake up. Today's a great day come, and we're gonna get moving. There's a lot to be done. Wake up. There's so much we can do, so wake up. Look up and live, wake up. Just hold up your head, smile, big smile from the inside out. Wake up now and discover each other. If you wake up now, we can help one another when your song is out and love in your eyes. Wake up. There's a great day come, so wake up. Welcome the sun, wake up. There's a great day coming and we gotta get moving. There's a lot to be done. And all we know we can share with each other, and the meal will go if we all work together, and we're gonna make peace all over the world. Wake up. There's a great day coming, so wake up. Welcome the sun, wake up. There's a great day coming and we're gonna get moving. There's a lot to be done. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up.
Good morning. It being Music Sunday, I wanted to offer my own little composition that I created especially for this service. I hope the recording came across in its entirety. Welcome to worship with the Unitarian Universalist community of Charlotte. My name is Jay Leach. I'm actually one of the ministers of this congregation, and my pronouns are he, him, his. On 2 recent Saturdays, I have walked slowly through an exhibit now on display at the Mint Museum uptown called Walls, Defend, Divide, and Divine. It's a powerful exploration of the way walls can serve to protect or beckon, separate or unite, establish a sacred site or a place for creative expression. I wrote the curator of the Mint expressing my appreciation, especially for the way the Walls exhibit caused me to reflect on our congregational theme for this year. Since September, we've been exploring the theme, Becoming the Community We Want to Be, Barriers, Boundaries, and Belonging. John Herrick has fashioned a service that weaves a bountiful array of music with brief personal reflections on our theme. I'm grateful to John and for his remarkable work during this challenging year, and to each of you who are sharing thoughts or music in today's service. We're always pleased to be joined by guests. If you are out there exploring our community in this virtual format, welcome. If you'd like to learn more, contact Kelly Green, who is our membership coordinator. You can email Kelly at kelly@uuccharlotte.org and invite a conversation either with Kelly, with me, or with our other minister, Eve Stevens. The wall on which our collective greetings will appear today is also regrettably, virtual. Go to our public Facebook page, find there a post announcing today's service, and respond by letting us know that you are a guest or by greeting one another if you are a part of our loving, liberating religious community. Welcome. Welcome all. Now, if you will excuse me, I'd like to get back to my next composition.
We light this chalice in celebration of our shared community, born of proximity and sustained by openness, trust, and commitment. Blessed be.
We light this chalice in celebration of a community we can't wait to be back in person with.
We light this chalice with gratitude for our beloved community and the values and principles that bind us together.
May it be so.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart of the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the shade of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
A few years ago, I visited the Robert Frost Farm in Derry, New Hampshire. Having toured the 19th century farmhouse that Frost inherited from his grandfather, at a docent's urging, I walked down through a large field and into the surrounding woods. Be sure and note down there in the woods, he said, the stone wall. It is the Mending Wall from Frost's famous poem. I offer that poem now, Mending Wall by Robert Frost. Something there is that doesn't love a wall, that sends the frozen groundswell under it and spills the upper boulders in the sun and makes gaps even two can pass abreast. The work of hunters is another thing. I've come after them and made repair where they have left not one stone on a stone. But they would have the rabbit out of hiding to please the yelping dogs. The gaps, no one has seen them made or heard them made, but at spring mending time, we find them there. I let my neighbor know beyond the hill. And on a day we meet to walk the line and set the wall between us once again. We keep the wall between us as we go to each the boulders that have fallen to each. And some are loaves and some so nearly balls. We have to use a spell to make them balance. Stay where you are until our backs are turned. We wear our fingers rough with handling them. Oh, just another kind of outdoor game, one on a side. It comes to little more. There, where it is, we do not need the wall. He is all pine, and I am apple orchard. My apple trees will never get across and eat the cones under his pines, I tell him. He only says, good fences make good neighbors. Spring is the mischief in me, and I wonder if I could put a notion in his head. Why do they make good neighbors? Isn't it where there are cows, but here there are no cows? Before I built a wall, I'd ask to know what I was walling in or walling out, and to whom I was like to give offense. Something there is that doesn't love a wall, that wants it down, I say to him, elves to him, but it's not elves exactly, and I'd rather he said it for himself. I see him there, bringing a stone grasped firmly by the top, in each hand like an old stone savage armed. He moves in darkness, as it seems to me, not of woods only in the shade of trees. He will not go behind his father's saying. And he likes it, having thought of it so well, he says it again. Good fences make good neighbors.
Good morning. My name is Shannon Maples. One of the unexpected benefits of this past year for me has been the opportunity to increase my participation in the UUCC's adult education offerings, which are conveniently being offered through Zoom. I continue to be surprised at how much there is for me to learn about the barriers that prevent this country from becoming the place I want it to be. Many times, these barriers begin with the way we frame our thinking. In the Economic Justice Core Group, we have reframed the way we think about this country's first European settlers, who are often heralded as freedom seekers in our national narrative. But these settlers, more accurately called colonizers, were motivated by profit at least as much as by freedom when they stole land from Indigenous Americans through manipulation and violence. This has caused me to rethink my own place in this country as well. I was actually grateful that COVID prevented me from hosting a 2020 Thanksgiving celebration, because I'm still working out how or if I want to recognize that day. This is just one example of the changes in my mindset over the past year. In other significant examples, I've reconsidered my thoughts on this country's system of policing, immigration, detention, and incarceration. I've come to believe that all of these systems are based in racism and need to be dismantled. To our wonderful professional staff and to all of you in this community who continue to seek personal and societal transformation, thank you for encouraging me to do the same.
I have climbed highest mountains, I have run through the fields, only to be with you, only to be with you. I have run, I have crawled, I have scaled these city walls, these city walls, only to be with you. But I still haven't found what I'm looking for. But I still haven't found what I'm looking for. I have kissed honey lips, felt the healing in her fingertips. It burned like fire, this burning desire. I have spoke with the tongue of angels, I have held the hand of a devil. It was warm in the night, I was cold as a stone. But I still haven't found what I'm looking for. But I still haven't found what I'm looking for. I believe in the kingdom come, and then all the colors will bleed into one, bleed into one. But yes, I'm still running. You broke the bonds and you loosed the chains, carried the cross of my shame, of my shame. You know I believe it, but I still haven't found what I'm looking for. I still haven't found what I'm looking for. But I still haven't found what I'm looking for. But I still haven't found what I'm looking for.
Hi, my name is Craig Miller, and I've been a member of the UUCC since 2010. When I was asked to reflect on the theme of boundaries and barriers in my life or the life of the community, I immediately thought about the book and movie Nomadland, and so I made some notes. To me, they were partly about the theme of breaking free of barriers and having the courage to live one's life outside society's rules. These people who found themselves without a home and very little money after working their entire lives chose not to live within four fixed walls and to stay in one place, but chose a life of simplicity and minimalism on the road where they could see beautiful places and make meaningful connections with other people and nature. It really impacted me and caused me to reflect on my relationship with money and things and how much they can become a barrier in life for all of us if we place too much importance on them. And I really wish I had more time to reflect on this subject. I find it really deep and interesting, but I'll just say, as far as Nomadland, the book and the movie are so good, and I really encourage you to read and watch the book and the movie, and I hope it touches you in the same way it did me. So enjoy. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Lauren Hood. A barrier that I have been reflecting on personally over the past year is a hesitation in having real conversations about race. I've been concerned that I don't know how to start the conversation and afraid that I'll say the wrong thing. I worry that my emotions will get in the way of saying what I really mean to say. Truth be told, I have been more committed to being comfortable than to making a difference in the world. But I've come to recognize that silence is dangerous. And it's become clear to me that if I am to become the person that I'm committed to being in the world, I'll need to expand my boundaries. This means stepping into the discomfort, seeing it as an opening for real dialogue. It means coming to terms with and taking responsibility for the privilege that I have and continue to experience in life. And it means listening and learning, hearing what's true for others, and learning what's needed to truly make a difference. I'm committed to taking action to break down barriers and to becoming the change that I wish to see in the world.
Who knew so many barriers and boundaries existed? In multiple ways, the last year has been revealing: a pandemic, a presidential election, bright lights shining on police behavior. Significantly, continuing to learn just how much I have not known and thought about, and the barriers that has created. I grew up in Charlotte, but lived the bulk of my adult life in Northern Virginia. At age 6, playing cowboys and Indians seemed harmless, but that was within a context that neglected to tell the whole story. Through my work career, I learned what a raw deal our Native Americans have endured. Now I think about how we occupy Native American lands, and think about having grown up on Tuckasegee Road rather than Queens Road. I have reflected on just how segregated Charlotte was. Artificial boundaries, but a barrier to a complete, united, and robust city. Through the economic justice course, our class has taken a deeper look at our history and culture and the barriers it erects, and just how pervasive economic injustice is and how it creates environmental injustice.
Misunderstood. They say we stand for nothing. There's no way we ever could. Now we see everything that's wrong with the world and those who lead it. We just feel we don't have the means to rise up and beat it. So we keep waiting, waiting on the world to change. We keep on waiting, waiting on the world to change. It's hard to be the system when you're standing at a distance. So we keep waiting, waiting on the world to change. Now if we had the power to bring our neighbors home from war, they would never miss a Christmas, no more ribbons on your door. But when you trust your television, what you get is what you got. Cause when they own the information, oh, they can bend it all they want. That's why we're waiting, waiting on the world to change. We keep waiting, waiting on the world to change. It's not that we don't care, we just know that the fight ain't fair. So we keep waiting, waiting on the world to change.
In her book, Dreaming the Dark, Magic, Sex, and Politics, the ecofeminist Starhawk writes, "We are all longing to go home to some place we have never been, a place half remembered and half envisioned we can only catch glimpses of from time to time. Community. Somewhere there are people to whom we can speak with passion without having the words catch in our throats. Somewhere a circle of hands will open to receive us. Eyes will light up as we enter. Voices will celebrate us whenever we come into our power. Community means strength that joins our strength to do the work that needs to be done. Arms to hold us when we falter. A circle of healing. A circle of friends. Someplace we can be free.
Good morning, my name is Megan Van Fleet. Today I watched a caterpillar shed its exoskeleton. It wriggled and writhed until a bit of the exoskeleton hung on the inside of its habitat, and it emerged looking exactly the same, no change. But the caterpillar knows it will continue to shed its exoskeleton until it forms a chrysalis, and then turns into a gooey mess and finally emerges a butterfly. So too goes the UUCC. As we continue to work toward becoming the community we want to be, through deep, hard internal work, we are changing. It is incremental, slow, and you could miss it. We are listening and learning in a whole new way. Becoming the community we want to be looks like joy oozing forth. It's standing in the gaps with enthusiasm, giving freely of our time, resources, and attention. It is tackling hard topics with open minds and the widest lens. It is embracing our amazing children and youth as leaders. It is looking to them for what we will become next. May it be so.
Hi, my name's Chip Dickerson, and I've been a UUCC member for 2 years. Becoming is a process, ideally one of growth. We are all, as individuals and as the community, always in the process of becoming something new. To me, becoming the community we want to be means looking at change intentionally. How can we be a more inclusive community, a more fun community, a more welcoming community, and a more just community? None of us has all of the answers to those questions, and none of us can answer those questions alone. Becoming a better community means engaging with ideas that are challenging and admitting that we are all less than perfect. It means that we will not always agree, but that we will always treat each other with respect and with dignity. Becoming a better community also means building relationships, so I hope that we'll not forget to have fun along the way. I cannot express how excited I am to see all of you in person again soon, so that we can embark together on the process of becoming the community that we want to be.
Draw
Draw the circle, draw the circle wide.
Good morning, I'm McElvin Starr. I'm speaking to you this morning from the perspective of somebody who's been a member of this community for 25 years. During that time, I've seen a lot of changes take place as we have continued to explore the question of what we want to be. I do have one concern though, and that is I feel we're moving away from one of our distinctive features, and that is the ability to laugh at ourselves, to not take ourselves too seriously. I was a prime mover of the Follies productions that we put on here for more than 20 years. We also did other theatrical presentations and skits, even sometimes during the services. And then there was the carnival service that we did every year, in which pretty much anything would go. The thing is, we did the heavy lifting, but at the same time balanced it with a healthy perspective. If you were to ask me what I want our community to be at this point, it's all of the above, but reestablishing that balance that I'm talking about. May it be so.
I'm Barry Arendt, a member of the UUCC since 2013. What does becoming the community we want to be mean to me? In many ways, we already are. Even as a Zoom and YouTube community, we've managed to share in virtual services and learning experiences, exchange ideas and smiles on a video screen, and support each other in a great many ways. I recently received a couple of heartwarming notes from other members. One was a get well greeting, the other was a stewardship thank you note. But to fully realize the community we all want to be, that's a work in progress. We have a long way to go to realize our ambitious vision of transformation, and I believe it will require even more sustained, determined, and creative effort. America is becoming a more secular society, making it more difficult to find new members to help us accomplish our mission. And at a time when injustice and systemic oppression are crushing so many of our neighbors, the work of our religious community seems more challenging and more essential than ever.
Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrow, but open your eyes and you might find there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Please swallow your pride. If I have things you need to borrow, for no one can meet those of your needs that you don't let show. You just call on each other when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'll understand. We all need somebody to lean on, lean on. won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. You just call on each other when you need a friend. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you understand. We all need somebody to lean on. If there is a load you have to bear that you can't carry, I'm right up the road and I'll help your load. If you just call me, call me, call me, call me when you need a friend. Call me, call me, just call me, call me, call me.
I am Lincoln Baxter. I'm a lifelong Unitarian Universalist. Becoming the community we want to be means to me that we show with our deeds what we say with our words. Personally and as a congregation, we listen to those in our community most marginalized by injustice, and we use our privilege to support their advocacy. We are recognized for making personal life decisions that are selfless and support the greater good, including where we live, what schools we send our children to, and how we donate our time to supporting those most marginalized in our community. We are recognized throughout Charlotte for being a justice-seeking, justice-supporting congregation that welcomes and supports all who come with open arms, and whose members give generously of their time and treasure to support justice. In short, we live out the 7 principles of Unitarian Universalism.
Hello, my name is Erin Ruth Manus, and I've been attending the UU since I moved to Charlotte in 2015. I think this year's theme of reflecting on the barriers and boundaries that stand in the way of becoming the community we want to be is desperately important, especially if we want people of any age, sexuality, gender identity, race, or religious background to feel that they could belong at the UUCC, and more precisely, to want to be an active part of the community. Even though there are barriers that our community has done a great job of tearing down, we each need to remain aware that there are so many more that still stand, even in a community like ours that strives to be a welcoming place for all. There are so many people in our greater community here in Charlotte who need a spiritual home. Each of us must do our utmost to learn about the barriers that don't affect us personally, barriers we may not know exist at all, and may not realize our actions are reinforcing despite our good intentions. I'm so grateful to everyone at the UU who has helped me see where some of those barriers lie within myself through courses like Undoing Racism, and I'm proud of the work that I've done in becoming more like the person I want to be. My hope is that we are all keeping our hearts open to those learning experiences, and that each of us will continue to investigate our assumptions and be willing to change when called to do so.
Hi, my name is Colin Hood, and my pronouns are he, his, and him. And I've been a member of our community for over 10 years now, and I've been asked to talk about my views on becoming the community that we want to be. And that really sounded to me like it would be a pretty easy thing to discuss until I really started digging into it. And I struggled. And after some very good coaching, I went back to our 7 principles and found some key components that were there, like the inherent worth of us all, justice, equity, and compassion for all around us. In the 3rd principle, the word acceptance really stepped out. And that led to world community, and ultimately the respect for the independent web that we're all part of. That is how I picture the community that I want to live in, and the community that I want to create in our greater community of Charlotte, the United States, and the world. Thank you.
I'm Carol Gay. There are many aspects to becoming the community we want to be, but I'm going to focus on just one: how we relate to each other, individually and in groups. An important part of becoming the community we aspire to be means learning to accept each other, even when we disagree about the right vocabulary or what beliefs are acceptable. Remember that not every member or visitor here will have been through the same trainings and readings on racial and gender sensitivity as you have. Becoming our desired community means showing compassion toward the other whose views we disagree with. It means seeking first to understand, not to be understood, and treating our relationships and even our interactions with care, knowing that everyone we relate to makes mistakes and has their own burdens in life. It means giving gentle feedback when we disagree, not talking behind people's backs or avoiding them, and seeking to nurture others, not to alienate. Trying to relate in these ways may sound easy, but actually it's hard to do, especially when we disagree. Think about what an amazing place this will be when we greatly increase the compassion we show to others. This change alone can power us through all the other work we need to do to become the community we aspire to be.
Of such I dream, of such I dream, of such I dream, of such I dream, of such I dream. I dream of
A few years ago, our board of trustees committed to craft words that would define who we aspired to be as a community. Slowly fashioned over months of deliberation, among other things, they said this: we are a joyful, loving, religious community of people who are deeply connected to each other. Here, people are heard, included, and respected. The truth of that intent is evidenced in each individual act of care, concern, each call, each message expressing support, affirming our connection. Today, we collectively hold with love and in our prayers Barbara Busey, especially as her mother recovers from a health crisis. Nancy and Rich Green and their family as they mourn the death of Nancy's son, John. Susan Hill as her son-in-law recovers from a health crisis. Julie Prentice in a time of ongoing personal and family health issues. And Yasmin Tarleton and her family as they continue to mourn the death of Yasmin's grandmother. Our concerns are not just for ourselves, our own. We are troubled today by the barriers in our larger community, barriers of oppression and injustice that leave many marginalized and in fear. May some courageous connection inspire each of us to embody that concern in some counter-oppressive way. Some of you have been extraordinarily generous, supporting our community through this difficult time. Some of you have made and kept generous pledges. Some have given regularly beyond your pledges. All of us are the beneficiaries of those who give willingly. We are grateful. Thank you. May what we have heard and experienced today inspire each of us to some more courageous connection. May we take the words and the songs of this hour deeply into our lives. And may they inspire us and sustain us for the journey that lies ahead. Go with courage, my friends. Go with courage.
Tell no lie. All of the people around us, they say, can they be that close? Just let me stay for the rest.